3 centuries of industry in Azerbaijan. In the year 1848, the world's first industrial oil well was drilled near Baku. This marked the beginning of modern petroleum production in Azerbaijan and the start of Azerbaijan industrialization. The rapid expansion of petroleum production in the second half of the 19th century made Baku the world's leading oil production region by 1900, with an annual output of 11.5 million tons. Throughout this period, Azerbaijan remained a front-runner in the petroleum race. This country pioneered the first crude refinery in 1859, the first oil tanker in 1877, and the first trunk pipeline between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea in 1907. This spectacular growth contributed enormously to the industrial development of Azerbaijan by creating an extensive infrastructure for petroleum industries. It fueled, so to speak, the development of oil-related industry, as well as providing a spur for manufacturing industry, food industry, and light industries in general. Capital, technology, and expertise from the West were combined with the drive and initiative of a nascent entrepreneurial class in Azerbaijan. These factors led to the emergence, in a remarkably short time, of an industrial city of global importance, with an economy based on oil, but rapidly diversifying. By the beginning of the 20th century, Baku had already acquired all the attributes of a developed industrial hub. This was quite different from development of other petroleum centers in the Middle East. In the cultural field, this difference is shown by the fact that the first professional theater, the first opera, the first secular school for girls, and the first modern university in the Muslim world were all in Azerbaijan. This impressive development was crowned by the establishment in 1918 of the first democratic republic among Muslim-majority states. Baku's importance as an oil-producing center survived the fall of the Azerbaijan Democratic Republic in 1920. The Azerbaijani petroleum industry played a crucial role during World War II, providing around 75% of Soviet crude oil and petroleum products. After the war, Azerbaijan developed the first offshore oil field in the world, Oil Rocks, which started production in 1948. From the middle of the 20th century, industrialization expanded beyond Baku into the regions of Azerbaijan. New industrial hubs were developed, including the newly built cities of Mingashevir and Sumgayit. Industry was centered around a hydroelectric dam and power station in Mingashevir, an ore mining and processing facility in Dashkasan, aluminum production in Ganja and Sumgayit, and a cement plant in Gorada. The extensive industrialization of Azerbaijan in the 1970s and 1980s came about through the initiatives of the national leader Haydar Aliyev. Significant industry-led economic diversification was facilitated by large-scale industrial investments, the establishment of a number of USSR-scale facilities, and the development of industrial sectors which had not been traditional for Azerbaijan. Industrial growth in Azerbaijan at that time averaged 8% per annum, and this tripled Azerbaijan's industrial output. Surprisingly, the key driver of this growth was non-oil industry. Azerbaijan had only 2.5% of the total population of the Soviet Union. This republic produced 100% of domestic air conditioners, 100% of oil pumps, 70% of other petroleum machinery equipment, 30% of Soviet wine, 12% of electric motors, 11% of electrical welding equipment, and 6% of all refrigerators made in the USSR. In the 1970s and 80s, many Azerbaijani students went to study at leading Soviet universities to boost the human resource potential of Azerbaijani industry. The economic crisis associated with the collapse of the Soviet Union, which extended into the first years of independence, delivered a severe blow to Azerbaijan's industrial development. The country suffered a double whammy. The post-Soviet transition from a planned to a market economy coincided with the occupation of Azerbaijani territories by Armenia and a flood of refugees. The economy was devastated, and manufacturing was hit especially hard. A number of flagship industrial facilities in Azerbaijan suspended operations in the early 1990s. Economic recovery started with the signing of production sharing agreements for development of offshore oil reserves in the Caspian Sea. In 1994, 1 year after his return to power, national leader Haydar Aliyev signed the largest of these agreements, which was called the Contract of the Century. Anti-crisis measures taken under the guidance of Haidar Aliyev restored political and economic stability and afforded modest industrial growth from 1997 onwards. Foreign direct investment in oil and gas played a crucial role in industrial revival, as other sectors experienced spillover from oil-led growth. The 1990s also saw price liberalization, industrial privatization, and the evolution of market institutions. This decade laid the groundwork for construction of the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan oil export pipeline, the development of the giant Shatinez gas field, the Trasika Initiative, and other major regional projects. The presidency of Haidar Aliyev from 1993 to 2003 can be characterized as a decade of post-crisis industrial renewal and reorganization based on market principles. Trends in economic development have further strengthened under the leadership of Ilham Aliyev, who was elected to the presidency in 2003. Optimization of territorial distribution of industry was identified as one of the priorities of economic policy. Significant steps were taken to improve the energy supply for industry. Within a decade, Azerbaijan turned from a net importer of gas and electricity into a net exporter and considerably enhanced its industrial infrastructure. During this time, the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan oil export pipeline and the Baku-Tbilisi-Erzurum gas export pipeline were built and commissioned. Transport infrastructure was developed along east-west and north-south transport corridors, and Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Georgia began construction of the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railroad project, a part of Trans-Eurasian Railroad Link. In the same period, national electricity generation capacity increased by more than 50%. Main transportation and communication infrastructures were almost fully rebuilt and renovated. Alongside improvements to Azerbaijan's business and investment climate, the government provided concessionary financing to industrial projects and, when needed, direct equity investment in newly constructed industrial facilities. From 2004 to 2013, production capacity significantly increased and diversified in the long-standing industrial sectors of Azerbaijan, such as food processing, textiles, furniture making, production of construction materials, metal industry, equipment and machinery manufacturing, and petrochemicals. In the non-traditional industrial sectors, notable developments were made in renewable energies, production of weapons and military equipment, and shipbuilding. Since 2003, total industrial output has tripled. On the basis of these achievements, industrial development in Azerbaijan has entered a new phase. The commencement of this phase was marked by the official nomination of 2014 as the Year of Industry.